Hey guys, so I just kind of wanted to jump on and kind of give you an update of the plant room. So Trent and I have spent the last couple of days moving all of my plants and plant stuff from our living room to our spare bedroom. We've had this idea for a while now to convert my spare bedroom into an official plant room. Trent wanted a game room, but clearly we see who won. And it was me. So, I kind of want to show you guys the setup and kind of go over what I have going on in here and just kind of give you guys an update. So, first, I'm going to start with my AeroGarden. So I got this probably 6 months ago, and when I got it, it was, I think I got it on sale for like $50. So the AeroGarden, it comes with this adjustable light, and the base is like a hydroponic system. So you just fill your water in right here, and then it comes with these little pods that are pre-seeded. So I've grown lettuce in it, and it did really well. I believe you can get several different things. Like there's a couple of like veggies that you can get. There's even like some, I think like petunias or some kind of flower. But this time Trent wanted to get some cherry tomatoes. So I have probably had these growing maybe a month and a half. And they're doing really well. So it has like a little light on the top. Don't mind the dust, but the little light on the top that tells you when to feed it. So you just take your little lid off and add your fertilizer in there. And so far I love this thing. Like, it is just doing so good. I already have some like little flower buds coming in. I don't know if you guys can see them, but it's really exciting. So hopefully we have some tomatoes soon. And then I kind of have, so I have just like some little cactuses, this fun little planter that I don't know what I'm gonna put in here yet, but I just think this planter is super cute. I have some green onions that I had bought maybe a month ago, and I like to cook with them a lot, so I put them in. I had cut them all down, and like all the way down to like the white part pretty much, and I stuck them in just this thing of water, and within a couple of maybe a week or so, look at that new growth. So that's really exciting. I also have like a couple of like just like cute little cactuses. This is just a normal cactus, and then this is actually not a cactus, but it's called a pickle plant because it looks like it has like pickles on it. It is really cool. I also have this super cute lemon tree with all kinds of buds on it. And let me tell you, my house smells amazing. I love the smell of these flowers on this lemon tree. They just smell so good. Then in this corner, I also have, let's see. So I have my rubber plant. And then I have this really cool Thai sunrise. It's not doing the greatest right now, but I have hope that it's going to come back. I have my mini monstera that is just thriving. And I've probably had this maybe a year, and maybe like 6 months ago I had potted, I had two of them, and I potted them together, and from like probably like, let's see, like right here is when I potted them. That's how full it was, and probably in like 6 months, that's how much it has grown. Like, that is crazy. I also have my prayer plant that's doing, she's doing okay. And then I have my string of hearts, which is doing fantastic. And then in this corner, I also have my micans, which, so I had her in a corner with one of my other huge plants, and I kind of neglected them for a while because I just got busy with work and everything. And then I like went to like water my plants, and I noticed they were kind of like dying. So I was like inspecting them. Then I realized that my biggest, most prized possession plant had a mealybug infestation. If you have ever dealt with mealybugs, you know how freaking hard it is to get rid of them. And like, luckily it only got 2 of my plants in that corner, because normally you do not get that lucky. Normally they infest everything, every plant that is around them. So I was able to pull them out. Trent and I spent probably a couple of hours with alcohol and little cotton rounds wiping the leaves. And then I took a little spray bottle of, I think, alcohol, Dawn dish soap, and water, and I just sprayed the hell out of it. And I soaked it, and then I just poured the rest of the bottle into the soil, because I was like, if it's gonna die, I'm gonna at least try to get rid of them. So I sprayed it with that and left it for a couple of hours, and then I had it in my bathtub. So then I just like sprayed everything off, and I think that I treated it another time the same way. And luckily after those 2 times, I got rid of them. I honestly don't know how. It's a miracle, but we did. So be careful with mealybugs, because they are a pain in the ass. So then I have my greenhouse, which I took the top off because since I'm converting this whole room into a plant room, I have enough plants in here and my humidifier that I'm able to keep the humidity up. So I really don't need the big ugly green around it. So I just kept the frame, and I have some of these plants on here are my rehab plants. So some of them don't look the best, but I'm hoping that I'm able to bring them back. So I have a couple of this Hartley philodendron. I've had it for probably a year, and I almost killed it because I just wasn't taking good enough care of it, I guess. I don't really know. But I made a moss pole. I stuck it in there, repotted it with some fresh soil. I tacked her up on her moss pole, and now she's doing so much better, like tons of new growth. Her aerial roots are now holding her into the moss pole by itself, so I don't even have to like keep it tacked up on the bottom, because it's already, the aerial roots have grown into the moss pole. So that's really exciting. I have a couple of String of Hearts cuttings that are doing really well in some sphagnum. In here, I have some passion flower vines growing. I started them from seeds a couple of weeks ago, and let me just pull one out here. They are starting to grow. In this beside it, whenever I was down in Alabama, so I have 2 String of Hearts plants already, but when I was down in Alabama, I always hit the nurseries multiple times because they're just so much better down there. Like, their plants are amazing. So I hit up one that I really like, and their String of Hearts had little seed pods, and I was like, I don't really need another String of Hearts, but I have literally never seen this in real life. So I bought it just for the little seed pods, and it is doing so good. So the little seed pods, I put them in a baggie to kind of dry out, and once they dry out, they kind of open, and the seeds are attached to like the dandelion flowers, like the white fluff. That's kind of what the seeds are attached to. So I was able to harvest a bunch of seeds. So I went ahead and potted some in just some little peat pellets, and they can take months to sprout. So I still have hope that I'm gonna sprout some, but that's really exciting, and I will keep you guys updated if I get lucky. Let's see. I have transitioned a lot of my plants to LECA because I just feel like I've had better success planting in LECA because, one, it helps tremendously with fungus gnats, and my plants seem to thrive in it. So I have a bunch of alocasias that I have collected over the last 6 months probably, and I recently just transitioned them to LECA, so they're currently kind of not too happy with being moved around and put in a new environment. So they're not doing too well right now, but I have hope that they're gonna bounce back. And while I'm talking about my alocasias, when I was potting them or repotting them, if you're not familiar with alocasias, the bulb of the alocasia grows. So instead of like, you know how like a lot of plants, they produce babies or pups that you can just kind of take off and plant by themselves, alocasias produce little corms. So basically they're just like baby bulbs that come from the mother plant. So I got a ton of them throughout all of my alocasias, and I currently have them in just some little like Tupperware containers with a little bit of water, and I've had them in there probably a week or two, and they are already starting to produce some little roots. So I am extremely excited because some of them I got a ton from. Like, look at this. Like, I got a ton of them. And one of them had like a bigger bulb that already had roots in it, or on it, I mean. So I went ahead and just kind of potted that into like a little cute coffee cup. So I'm hoping that I will have really good luck with that. I also just planted some it's called a sensitive plant. It almost kind of looks like a fern, but whenever you like touch the leaves, they like close up. So I'm really excited about that because I have wanted one for a really long time, and I found just a cheap little cute seed kit. So I went ahead and bought it. So I'm hoping that I get one. I also wanted to kind of show you guys this. So I love going to like Reese's or Sprouts and trying different like exotic fruit, I guess. So at Reese's, actually, a few months ago, Trent and I had went to just kind of look at their like exotic fruit stand, and I found some prickly pear cactuses, and they were disgusting, but like they were really gross, but I was able to like get the seeds and like dry them out, and I planted some, but this little guy is the only one that came up. So this is after a few months probably, and look, I have a little baby cactus. So that was really exciting. I really love, like, whenever I get like exotic fruit like that, to try to germinate the seeds. So that was really exciting that I'm actually growing a cactus from a fruit that I got from Reese's. But also I wanted to show you guys this because Walmart has started getting these in, and I had literally searched for these everywhere, and honestly I like refused to pay the prices that people were asking for these, because I'm like, this was like before I had any kind of experience in the alocasias or elephant ears. So I was like, I just don't feel comfortable spending this much money on something that I'll probably kill. So whenever I was in Alabama, I also found a little nursery that had some little ones that were really cheap. Like, I think I got it for like $15. So I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and get it because I really wanted one of these, and it was pretty cheap. I mean, so I got it to do really good. So I was really happy with that. But I noticed that at Walmart, they were starting to get in a bunch of different varieties of elephant ears. So if that's something that you guys like, I recommend Bixby Walmart, because they had so many different types of elephant ears. But I was so excited that I found it for $10. It comes with just one bulb, but I mean, hey, why not? So I went ahead and grabbed me one, and I also picked up one for my granny, because if you guys know my granny or have drove by her house, you know that she is like the queen of elephant ears. Like, I don't know, like, I don't even know how she does so well with elephant ears, but she does. So I went ahead and picked her up one. So I mean, if mine dies, I have faith that hers is gonna thrive. So maybe I can get a baby from her. If you guys have some plants that aren't doing so well in soil, I really recommend just trying Leca. I have had for probably 6 or 7 months, and it was literally dying in the pot. So I decided to pot her in some Leca, and she is like thriving. Like, look how big these leaves are doing in this Leca. Like, I am just like so shocked, because this was one of the first plants that I had put in Leca, and I was kind of like, I just don't know really about Leca just yet. but this one was already dying, so I decided to just kind of give it a shot, and if it died, it died, but luckily she is thriving. If you have a lot of like trailing plants, I really recommend a moss pole, because since I have added some moss poles to my pots of my climbing plants, they have started thriving. So that is something that I really recommend, and they're super easy to make. If you don't want to purchase one, they're really easy to make. I think I even did a video on the page a few months ago showing you guys like how I make them, and it's like really cost effective, super easy, super fast, and it works just as good as buying one online. So this is my Cebu Blue pothos, and as you can see, she is like thriving in this pot and on this moss pole. So I put the moss pole in here, and she has already started attaching her aerial roots to the moss pole, so that is great. This one is the one that was infested with mealybugs, and I don't know if you guys can see how big this plant is, but it's like literally taller than I am. And she has some huge leaves. Like, look at this one. So I recommend a moss pole. If you want your climbing plants to get huge leaves with fenestrations, moss pole. 100%. This crazy guy I found at a Lowe's in Alabama, and I just could not leave him because look how cool and crazy he is. This is my dogtail cactus, and within the last few months, he has started thriving. I don't know if he's like me and knows spring's coming and is just so much happier and in such a better mood with the spring and summer seasons that he just started putting off babies like crazy. So I'm hoping by the end of summer he is huge. What else? My other string of hearts. This one I have had for probably like 2 years. And let me tell you, this was one of the, I guess, first rare plants that I had bought at the time, because I had found one, or I had found a thing of cuttings like super cheap, and I was like, this is like cheap enough that if I kill it, I'm not gonna be like super devastated because I can buy another one. And I literally did kill it almost, like literally had no leaves, nothing. I had to cut it back because they were dried and shriveled up. I almost just chunked it because it was just like, it was a miserable plant and I honestly hated it. But I did a lot more research and watched tons of different YouTube videos on how to take care of it. And once I kind of figured out its needs and what maybe I was doing wrong, it started thriving. And so now she is huge. And I have even cut her back several times. Like, I have probably cut her back to like this much from the pot, and then she has grown that much. I think that's pretty much it for the little plant room tour for right now, but hopefully I can put on some more lives for you guys and show you kind of like the lazy girl way to take care of your plants and get them to thrive, because it is super simple, like once you get the hang of it, and if I can do it, you guys can do it. So that's it for tonight. So stay tuned for some big things coming. Thanks guys, bye.